Okay, so I want you to imagine a king whose palace literally has walls of solid gold, whose court is graced by celestial dancers, and who can command the rain and thunderstorms with just a mere gesture. We're talking about a ruler who wields a weapon forged from the very bones of a sage, something capable of wiping out cosmic demons in a single strike. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are exploring the awe-inspiring yet deeply conflicted figure of Indra, the king of heaven. We're going to unpack the untold duality of a ruler who won the heavens, but, as you'll see, often struggled to conquer himself. Okay, let's dive into this because it's a completely fascinating paradox. In ancient texts like the Rig Veda, Indra is the absolute most prominent deity. There are over 250 hymns dedicated solely to him. He represents ultimate, unyielding power. Yet, when we actually look closely at his story, we don't just see this flawless, untouchable hero. We see a ruler grappling with intense, incredibly relatable flaws. We're talking fear, pride, insecurity, and an overwhelming attachment to power. So you have to ask yourself, why would the king of the gods be so deeply insecure? Well, the answer actually changes everything we know about him. You see, Indra is not actually a permanent individual. It's a temporary cosmic title. Think of it kind of like the office of a president or a prime minister. Anyone who performs enough sacrifices, earns enough merit, and completes immense penance can technically occupy the throne of Indra. Whenever a new era begins, a new Indra takes over. Realizing this completely reframes his entire character. His greatest vulnerability is that constant, looming fear of losing his throne. And this brilliantly illustrates that exact duality. On the surface, you have the visual splendor of the Lord of Storms ruling a utopian Svarga, a heaven that is totally free of disease and sorrow, wielding the invincible Vajra. But hidden right beneath that is a dark internal reality. He's a temporary ruler subject to the strict laws of cosmic karma, constantly looking over his shoulder. Every single decision he makes is colored by this heavy, heavy burden.
Chapter 1. The True Price of Victory.
Picture this. A terrifying asura named Vritrasura emerges, and he is so powerful that he literally blocks all the water of the world's rivers. The earth dries up, crops die, and humanity suffers immensely. Indra and the gods fight him, of course, but they are completely powerless. Their divine weapons just shatter against him. In sheer panic, they approach Lord Vishnu, who reveals that only one very specific weapon can defeat this demon. Vishnu tells them that the weapon must be forged from the bones of a pure, living ascetic, Sage Dadhichi. So when Indra approaches the sage with heavy humility, Dadhichi doesn't even hesitate. He willingly sacrifices his own life, stating that using his mortal bones to save creation is the highest duty, the highest dharma. True victory, we learn right here, requires supreme selflessness, not just overwhelming divine force. So Vritrasura drains the world, pushing the gods to the absolute brink. Vishnu demands pure sacrifice. Dadhichi willingly gives up his life through yogic power, and from his sacred bones, the divine architect crafts the Vajra, a weapon of brilliant, crackling lightning. Indra finally strikes down Vritrasura at the Narmada River, releasing the waters back to the world. But here's the really beautiful part. As the whole world cheers for Indra, he looks at the Vajra and knows the victory really isn't his. It's a humbling reminder of Sage Dadhichi's supreme sacrifice.
Chapter 2. Power versus pure devotion. Enter Garuda. Now, Garuda is a magnificent, powerful bird-like being who would later become the mount of Lord Vishnu. But right now in our story, he is a son desperately fighting to free his mother, Vanata. She has been unjustly enslaved by the serpent mother Kadru, and the only ransom that can possibly buy her freedom is the divine nectar of immortality, the Amrit, which is heavily guarded up in Indra's heaven. You see, Garuda isn't fighting for cosmic glory or political power. He is driven purely by his son's love. And his ascent to Svarga is terrifying. With eyes like fire and a wingspan that literally darkens the sun, he shatters the clouds. The celestial armies try to stop him, but with a single flap of his wings, he scatters them like dust. He breaks through absolutely every defense until he comes face to face with the King of Heaven himself.
It's the ultimate showdown. Indra's unstoppable Vajra versus Garuda's wings, which are fueled by pure devotion. Indra hurls the Vajra with all his might, but Garuda, out of profound respect for Dadhichi's bones, simply sheds a single feather to stop it. Just one feather. Indra is absolutely stunned. He realizes in that moment that pure devotion is infinitely stronger than any weapon, and he actually humbles himself before Garuda. Chapter 3. The cost of divine ego.
Watch this rapid domino effect unfold, because it happens fast. Minute 1, the notorious, quick-tempered Sage Durvasa offers Indra a sacred divine garland containing the essence of goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. Minute 2, disrespectfully, Indra casually tosses it onto the head of his elephant, Airavata. Minute 3, the elephant throws it right to the ground. Day 1, a furious Durvasa curses Indra, stripping him and the heavens of all their prosperity and power. By year 1, the weakened gods are utterly defeated, and the Asaurus completely conquers Svarga. A single moment of blinding ego costs him his entire empire.
So the crucial point is this. There is no quick fix for arrogance. When a broken Indra begs Vishnu for help, the solution isn't a shiny new weapon. It's the Samudra Manthan, the great churning of the cosmic ocean. And to actually pull this off, Indra must abandon his ego entirely and cooperate with his sworn enemies, the Asaurus. He literally has to swallow his pride to slowly, painstakingly win back what his carelessness destroyed.
Chapter 4, The Weight of Deception. This is the story of Ahalya, a woman of unparalleled beauty created by Brahma. When the wise sage Gautama won her hand in marriage over Indra, Indra was consumed by blinding jealousy. Using deceit, he mimicked the morning call of a rooster, tricked the sage into leaving his hermitage early, and then disguised himself as Gautama to violate a sacred boundary. The fallout from this was devastating. A furious Gautama cursed Indra, marking his body with 1,000 wounds of shame, which later turned into 1,000 eyes, a constant humiliating reminder of his sin. Ahalya, caught in this terrible tragedy, was turned to stone, waiting ages for liberation. It's a very somber, heavy reminder. Cosmic karma holds everyone accountable, even the King of Heaven.
Chapter 5, Testing the Limits of Dharma.
Now we meet the legendary Emperor Shibi. He was known throughout the 3 worlds for his absolute, unwavering commitment to his word and his duty to protect the weak. So Indra and the fire god Agni decide to test if this mortal king truly lives up to his towering reputation. Just how far will Shibi actually go? And the test they give him is just brutal. Agni becomes a terrified dove seeking refuge. Indra becomes a fierce hawk demanding his prey. Trapped between protecting a refugee and starving a predator, King Shibi orders a scale. He begins offering his own flesh equal to the dove's weight. But no matter how much he cuts, the dove remains heavier. Finally, bleeding, Shibi steps onto the scale himself, offering his entire life. Instantly, the birds vanish. Indra and Agni appear, deeply moved. Through this, Indra learns that true righteous duty means putting your own life on the line. Chapter 6, The True Meaning of Leadership.
Now, what's really interesting about all this is how it perfectly synthesizes his entire journey. Indra's mythos isn't just a collection of random inventors, right? Through Dadhichi, we learn that victory requires sacrifice. Through Garuda, we see pure devotion overcoming sheer force. Durvasa's curse proves beyond a doubt that ego destroys empires, and the tragic story of Ahalya cements that karma is absolute. Finally, King Shibi shows that great leaders sacrifice themselves for others. As you can see, Indra's profound failures are honestly just as educational as his spectacular victories.
And that brings us to this core insight. Indra is not memorable because he was a perfect, untouchable god. No, he's memorable precisely because he reflects our own human struggles. He battles with ego, he fears losing his position, he makes catastrophic mistakes. And yet, he often demonstrates the humility to learn, to bow to superior devotion, and to seek redemption.
So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. If a being who commands the rain, rules a golden paradise, and wields the lightning bolt is still completely bound by the inescapable laws of his own ego and cosmic karma, what does that mean for how we conduct our own lives? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and until next time, keep exploring the incredible depths of Sanatan Dharma.